evening, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, together with the Presidential Communications Office.
We bring you the widest, latest, and most comprehensive news coverage from the People's Television, IBC, Philippine News Agency, Philippine Information Agency, and Presidential Broadcast Service. I'm Princess Habiba Saripauda.
And I'm Joe Fernandez from Radyo Pilipinas. Welcome to Balitang Pambansa. Tonight's headlines. Filipinos can purchase sulit rice at 36 pesos per kilo starting this week. The Department of Agriculture, or DA, expressed gratitude to the Philippine National Police and rice importers for helping government provide affordable rice to the public. The preparations for the upcoming pahalik of the Jesus Nazareno is now in full swing. The Department of Justice, or DOJ, warns POGO workers still staying in the country will face severe penalties. The Philippine Coast Guard, or PCG, is continuously monitoring the so-called monster ship of China that continues to stay in the country's exclusive economic zone, or EEZ. The assistance provided by government to Canlaon-affected families has surpassed 161 million pesos thus far. The Department of Science and Technology, or DOST, says that the conditions that started in September continue to persist and further strengthened, reaching La Nina conditions threshold in December 2024. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. was elated with the decision of the United Arab Emirates, or UAE, to pardon over 200 Filipinos. The Philippine government expressed gratitude to Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan and Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum for their concern and kind heart. The chief executive says the decision was announced during UAE's commemoration of its 53rd National Day.
Mga minamahal kong kababayan, ikinagagalak kong ipabatid na sa okasyon ng ika-53 National Day ng United Arab Emirates, 220 Pilipino ang pinagkalooban ng pardon ni kanyang kamahalan Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Ang desisyong ito, nakaragdagan sa 143 Pilipino na nabigyan ng pardon noong Eid al-Adha, ay patunay na matibay ang ugnayan ng ating mga bansa. We extend, of course, our heartfelt gratitude to His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan and Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, whom I also had the honor to meet for this very compassionate gesture. Patuloy na pinoproseso ang mga dokumento ng ating mga kababayan para sa kanilang agarang pagbabalik. Sa kanilang pag-uwi, naway maging ligtas ang kanilang paglalakbay pauwi sa kanilang mahal na lupang tinubuan. Maraming salamat po.
The Department of Agriculture has managed to provide the public with more affordable options for their staple grain consumption. The 29 per kilo aging but still quality rice for the elderly, disabled, and those in the vulnerable sector, and the Rice for All program that affords all Filipinos well-milled local and imported rice at a low price of 40 pesos per kilo. Meet the newest batch of staple grain soon to be found in Kadiwa ng Pangulo stores and kiosks, as our Clazel Bardilla reports.
Traslacion purchased two types of rice, imported rice at 60 pesos per kilo and local rice at 53 pesos per kilo.
Yun po yung masarap, ma'am. Tsaka yung kakain ka lang din, mas maganda na lang yung masarap po.
Bakit niyo po hinakaluan ng 53?
Hindi, kaya medyo makatipid.
Based on the Department of Agriculture's price monitoring, rice prices currently range from 38 pesos to 64 pesos per kilo. At Eric Alamag stall in Balik-Balik Market, Manila, imported rice remains the most expensive, priced at 62 pesos per kilo.
Ano pa yun, 100 taon pa. Bago sa yung wala pa kaming bagong deliver. Kaya mataas pa masyado. Yung namin, sa susunod pa.
Last June, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. issued an executive order reducing tariffs on imported rice. However, according to the DA,
Dapat wala ng 60 peso rice na imported na nakikita sa merkado. Yung 60 peso na imported rice is already profiteering in my opinion.
To bring down rice prices and prevent profiteering, the Department of Agriculture is set to impose a maximum suggested retail price for imported rice. The agency will meet with rice stakeholders, the Department of Trade and Industry, the DILG, and the Bureau of Internal Revenue to discuss implementation.
Clearly, ito sa Price Act or yata yung sa profiteering angle, no? So, kung ano yung consequences nung malabel ka ng profiteering, we will use that.
Dapat mura din yung bigay sa amin. Kasi tingnan mo, nung binabaan kami, binabaan din namin. Di ba? Para everybody happy.
Starting this week, consumers can buy sulit rice for 36 pesos per kilo in more Kadiwa stores. The Department of Agriculture began selling sulit rice last week into selected stores in Metro Manila as part of a trial run. While the program was not announced initially, the positive reception it has drawn so far has prompted the agency to expand its availability. Sulit rice is imported, broken rice, but is white in appearance, priced at 36 pesos per kilo, cheaper than the 40 pesos rice for all. The initiative aims to provide consumers with more affordable rice options.
Hinahanap ng tao kasi it's being sold as 36 pesos. This week we will finalize yung rollout. Kasi kailangan namin, since medyo successful yung at medyo nagustuhan ng tao sa selected areas na yun, we have to plan now how to roll it out and ensure that we have enough stocks.
Hindi mas maganda. Ako may dalawang estudyante. Ang mahal ng pamasahe. Siyempre pag nakatipid ka doon, malaking tulong yun.
From PTV Manila, Kalezal Pardilla, Balitang Pambansa.
Agriculture Secretary Francisco Chu Laurel Jr. thanked rice millers, importers, and Philippine National Police or PNP for supporting the Marcos administration's efforts to provide affordable rice through the Kadiwa ng Pangulo Rice for All program. Launched on December 21, it offers rice at 40 to 45 pesos per kilo via 26 rolling stores and kiosks in Metro Manila, with plans for expansion. Laurel emphasized the importance of collaboration in addressing the food inflation. He urged importers to bring in more 25% broken grain rice to lower prices and assured farmers of continued support to boost their yields and incomes while ensuring affordable rice for consumers. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. presided over several meetings focused on monetary policies which are crucial for managing inflation and ensuring economic stability. He will also hold discussion on public-private partnerships to enhance collaboration between the government and the private sector in planning, implementing, and completing infrastructure projects under the Build Better More initiative. Tomorrow, the first full cabinet meeting for 2025 is expected with all cabinet members present to discuss various issues and government programs aimed at improving the economy and the lives of Filipinos.
Department of Justice, or DOJ Secretary Jesus Crispino Remulla emphasized that foreign workers from illegal Philippine offshore gaming operators, or POGO, who remain in the country will face severe penalties. The DOJ says around 11,000 foreign POGO workers who failed to leave the Philippines last year are set to be deported. These workers are either failed to downgrade their visas or did not leave within the given time. To recall, the Bureau of Immigration, or BI, has given until October 18, 2024 for POGO workers to downgrade their visas to temporary visitors permits. In other news, local governments have been given the green light by the Department of the Interior and Local Government, or DILG, to inspect commercial buildings. This is due to government's total ban on POGOs in the country. All LGUs, together with the police, are allowed to inspect all businesses under their respective jurisdictions. According to DILG Secretary John Vic Remulla, building permits, occupancy, electric, fire, safety permits will also be checked. Authorities will also check if the real property tax for the establishment has been fully paid.
On the other news, the Philippine Coast Guard has been tracking her for the last 3 days, and she has elicited special attention given her huge size that dwarfs all of the ships and water vessels of the Philippine Coast Guard and Navy. But the overshadowing and imposing presence does little to intimidate both Philippine Navy and Coast Guard. Instead, China's monster ship was kept on tight watch on the water and from the air by the PCG, which detected the humongous floater soon as it entered the country's EEZ. Even more, the Philippine Coast Guard, in defense of the country's EEZ and sovereignty, issued radio challenges and reminded the Chinese personnel on board who really owns the territorial waters with citations on UNCLOS, the Philippine Maritime Zone Act, and the 2016 Permanent Court of Arbitration ruling in favor of the Philippines against China. China's monster ship 5901 also made an extended presence in the waters of Sabina or Escoda Shoal in July last year, with the BRP Teresa Magbanwa keeping tabs on her all throughout.
Dito, the Chinese Coast Guard is 5901 is no longer crossing the limit of more than of not less than 60 nautical miles. So far, wala naman siyang naging naharas na Philippine fisher, no? It's just slowly moving, minsan pa up north, minsan pa balik uli ng Baho de Masinloc. But what we are doing is to make sure na hindi na ito lalapit sa coastline ng Zambales. And secondly, to ensure na kung sakali magmemainis ng Filipino na madadaanan ito, and the Philippine Coast Guard will be there to ensure their safety and security.
Heads up, especially for devotees. In a couple of hours, Quiapo Church will come alive with long lines of the faithful and devotees of the Black Nazarene seeking to plant a kiss on the inanimate image of the religious icon for personal intentions. This act of deep faith or endearment seeks to have the grace and blessing from above or from Christ himself fall on them. But there's also a caveat. The observance of hygiene with the effects of the pandemic still hangs over our heads, as our Rod Laguzad reports.
As part of the preparations for the Traslacion, a send-up ceremony was held at the Quirino Grandstand for the security and safety personnel. Reverend Father Rupino Sascon Jr. of Quiapo Church blessed the security and safety personnel who will be securing this year's Traslacion. The Philippine National Police earlier announced the deployment of civilian officers for the upcoming Traslacion. According to PNP, the civilian officers will blend in with the devotees attending the Traslacion. This is part of the PNP's comprehensive security plan, ensuring that no one can bypass the security measures even if no serious threats to security are currently monitored. In total, over 12,000 police officers will be deployed for the Traslacion, supported by more than 2,000 personnel from Armed Forces of the Philippines, Philippine Coast Guard, Bureau of Fire Protection, and other relevant government agencies. PNP Chief Police General Romel Marbil stated that their primary focus is the safety of the devotees.
Wala kami monitor, no? Wala kami nakikitang threat. Ang pinag-uusapan lang namin yung maraming tao, mas maraming taong dadagsa ngayon kasi mas open. So yun ang namin. Then yung traffic, that's one of the traffic. Same time, we don't see any threat but yung mga masasaktan. Ang inahabonan, how can we improve our services na wala na masaktan.
He also reminded that wearing hoodies, hats, carrying backpacks, and bringing bladed weapons are prohibited. They're also ensuring that the public can easily locate ambulances and comfort rooms. Meanwhile, Manila Mayor Hanel Lacuna stated that everything is ready for the Traslacion.
Wala na po, na ayos na po natin lahat ng dadaanan. Yung mga kalye po na may mga lubak pa ay napa-espalto na po natin. At nagsimula na po tayo ng clearing operations po natin noong isang linggo pa po.
This was followed by a mass for the volunteers who helped the church to ensure the smooth conduct of the Traslacion this year. Although affected by a technical problem, the issue was quickly resolved and the mass continued. The mass signaled the start of the activities at the Quirino Grandstand. The Quiapo Church also issued a reminder regarding the upcoming pahalik.
Mas maganda pa rin naman kahit naman hindi pandemic, mas hygienic na at mas ligtas ang ipunas natin at mag-sanitize tayo on and before ng pagpugay natin. Kaya mas ini-encourage natin yung pagpunas, no, at paghaplos at pag-sanitize.
Some devotees started queuing as early as Monday afternoon for the pahalik, taking the opportunity to avoid long lines. From PTV Manila, Rod Laguzad, Balitang Pambansa.
Nagsimula ang Baklay Multipurpose Cooperative sa pagiging isang tindahan. Sa paglipas ng panahon, sa tulong ng Department of Agrarian Reform or DAR at National Confederation of Cooperatives or NATCO, pinalawak ng barko ang kanilang saklaw upang isama ang mga serbisyo sa pag-iimpok at pagpapautang. Karagdagang suporta mula sa iba't ibang ahensya ng gobyerno ang nagbigay daan sa kooperatiba upang umunlad sa produksyon ng gatas ng baka at caravan.
Para sa Zamboanga del Sur, isang unit ng cargo truck.
Kinilala ng DAR ang potential ng barko at binigyan sila ng isang cargo truck sa ilalim ng Climate Resilient Farm Productivity Support Program. 31 proyekto ng mga makinarya at iba pang suporta ang naibahagi ni Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Jr. noong ika-24 ng Mayo. 30 organisasyon rin ang makikinabang sa suportang inihandog ng Administrasyong Marcos. Nagpapahayag ang barko ng taus-pusong pasasalamat para sa walang patid na suporta ng DAR. At kinikilala nila si Pangulong Bongbong Marcos para sa kanyang dedikadong atensyon sa mga benepisyaryong magsasaka.
Daghang kaayong salamat, President Bongbong Marcos of DAR.
PTV Consumer Watch, bantay presyo sa gasolina.
The government has provided 161.8 million pesos worth of aid to families affected by the eruption of Canlaon volcano. 52.29 million pesos went to Western Visayas and 109.53 million pesos went to Central Visayas, helping 9,956 families with food, shelter, and financial support. Concerned agencies provided family food bags, hygiene kits, tents, waterproof covers, generator sets, and financial assistance. So far, 12,266 families from 26 villages have been affected, with some staying in evacuation centers and others receiving help outside.
The number of passengers at the Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange or PITX has increased. Many of them are from provinces who made the most of their time during the holiday break. The passengers are mostly from Batangas, Cavite, and Bicol province. According to the management of PITX, bus trips are on time, and even after the holiday season, security measures are still implemented. Nearly a full week into the new year, the country's premier international gateway is still a beehive of activity. People flying out in bunches and just a tad more homegrown tourists, and those from abroad seeking relief and refuge here in the country from the ice and freeze from whence they came. And many have begun to take notice of the improvements in facilities, equipment, and service that has obtained since the new management took over in September of last year. Most of the arrivals have noticed in the upgrade in service plus the ongoing renovations that can only mean even better airport experience. Meanwhile, airport authorities and personnel are keeping count of those leaving and coming in, especially the latter. And by late afternoon or early evening, the crowd has not subsided, even those coming in have not let up. Airport authorities claim some 163,000 departing and arriving passengers were accounted for today and expect NAIA authorities to keep a close eye on the count of passengers coming in.
Masaya, walang delay. Walang delay dito. Maraming pagbabago.
Tuloy-tuloy naman yung oras ng namin. Oo, wala namang aberya. Smooth naman yung biyahe. Oo. Wala namang problema. Maayos naman.
The Metro Manila Film Festival, or MMFF, will extend run of its official entries until January 14. According to Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, or MMDA, the decision to extend the showing of MMFF films is due to strong public demand. MMDA Chair and concurrent MMFF Overall Chair Attorney Don Artes expressed gratitude to the support of the public to the entries of the MMFF. On the other news, COMELEC Zamboanga City conducts an automated counting machine or ACM roadshow to prepare voters for the 2025 polls and to ensure a well-organized and prepared election day. Philippine Information Agency Zamboanga, Myra Espinosa, tells us more.
The Commission on Elections Zamboanga is currently holding an automated counting machine or ACM roadshow in the 98 barangays and 2 major malls in Zamboanga City. This initiative aims to prepare voters for the upcoming May 2025 midterm elections. COMELEC reminds voters that each person gets only one ballot, highlighting the importance of proper shading and avoiding overvoting to prevent ballot spoilage. The new ACMs are designed for faster and more efficient counting. Zamboanga City Election Officer Attorney John Christian Babiera emphasized the importance of these demonstrations, noting that changes to the machines require voters to be informed for a smooth and efficient election day experience.
May mga features po kasi sa ACM which are new, so it would be better na we will be conducting the ACM demonstration and roadshow.
Zamboanga City has a total of 120 precincts, and COMELEC has assured that all necessary measures are in place to ensure a well-organized and prepared election day. From the Philippine Information Agency Zamboanga, Myra Espinosa for the Balitang Pambansa.
The Department of Trade and Industry in Socsargen recently held the Region 12 Fiesta Haraya 2024, a 3-day event celebrating the region's rich cultural heritage and creative industries. Harlem Ferolina from Philippine Information Agency Socsargen tells us more.
In a bid to strengthen the creative industries in Region 12, the Department of Trade and Industry or DTI in Socsargen organized the Region 12 Fiesta Haraya, a regional creative festival 2024, days before the year ended. The 3-day event celebrated the region's rich cultural heritage through traditional dances, songs, stories, literary works, indigenous clothing, and a wide array of artistic creations as part of the implementation of Republic Act No. 11904, or the Philippine Creative Industries Development Act of 2022.
We do recognize that you are not only drivers of economic growth and development, but also vital instruments for preserving our culture and traditions. This law fosters a dynamic and collaborative environment where Filipino creativity thrives.
They inspired us na mag-display po para ma-showcase po yung talent namin at the same time po is yung culture ng Region 12 po.
Nandun na kami sa dying phase, bankrupt na kami pero push na kami. Salamat Department of Trade and Industry for not just showcasing but supporting and promoting our arts. Ginasunod nyo talaga yung Constitution and bylaws natin. Section 14, Article 14, the state should promote its culture. So, good job.
Indeed, Fiesta Haraya showcases the beauty and significance of creative industries, depicting diverse cultures. Promoting these artistic endeavors and talents not only brings prestige to the Filipino culture, but also contributes to the country's economic growth. From the Philippine Information Agency Socsargen, Harlem Ferolino, Balitang Pambansa.
And for our weather, according to Department of Science and Technology or DOST, the sea surface temperature or SST in the equatorial Pacific Ocean that started last September continued to persist in the Pacific region. This further strengthened LA or La Nina as shown by recent oceanic and atmosphere indicators. The condition is likely to continue until January to March this year.
And of course, partner, we cannot say goodbye without greeting this person, the man himself, our General Manager, Sir Toby Nebrida. Sir!
Yes, sir. Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday.
boss. Ayan. Uy, nako, nakatikim sana tayo ng papansin.
Yes, of course. Don't forget that
yes,
tomorrow,
happy birthday, boss.
Happy birthday
Good
to
luck.
you.
Well wishes,
Yes,
syempre.
see you around, sir. And of course, that concludes our rundown of the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news and information from all across the nation. From Radyo Pilipinas, I'm Joe Fernandez.
This is your trusted news source, always ready to inform and serve the Filipino people. Catch Balitang Pambansa again tomorrow at 7 a.m., 12 noon, 6 p.m., and 9:30 p.m. for more updates and developments. I'm Princess Habiba Saripoldak, and this is
Balitang Pambansa.